Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Becca Holmes, and today's class is an easy class for all trimesters. So I am in the middle of my third. This does feel good for me at about 33 weeks. Now, of course, follow your intuition, trust your body, trust your guides to let you know what kind of practice that you need today. But this is an easy class. We will be pretty much all on our mats. There's no standing postures, and hopefully you feel really, really good after this and just a little bit more relaxed, depending on where you are in your body journey of your pregnancy. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we're going to begin our journey today in child's pose. So I invite you to take whatever child's pose is most comfortable for you in whatever stage of your pregnancy that you're in. So for me in third trimester, I'm going to stick a block under my hips just for a little extra support. And I always invite you to bring 2 blocks and a bolster to every prenatal class, because as we grow and expand, we just need a little bit of extra help. So I might use this one as well. And then expand your knees as wide as the mat. And then bring your head down to rest. And so if you can expand your forearms all the way forward, that's totally fine too. Or you can rest here on your forearms and give your forehead a little support like I'm doing. And then once you find the child's pose that's serving you, take a moment to just ground into your practice. See if you can't sink a little deeper into your mat. And then find your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then go ahead and check in with yourself and see what it is that you need today. Maybe you need to invite in a little gratitude or some joy, really recognizing the beautiful parts of pregnancy. Or you might be having a rough day, and maybe there's something that you'd like to leave on the mat, some struggle or emotion that you're feeling, and it's okay to pick it back up later, but maybe you want to leave it on the mat just for today. And as you settle in and breathe, let's inhale those good intentions that we want to bring into the rest of our day, and then exhale whatever it is we might want to be releasing. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then when you feel ready, slowly lifting the forehead. And if you use the block, let's go ahead and set that to the side. And then we're coming into tabletop. So I'm going to set both of my blocks off to the side and then come into our tabletop position, all fours. So wrists come directly under elbows, under shoulders, knees support directly under the hips. And then once you find your stable all-4 posture, begin some cat-cow movement. So on an inhale, slightly dropping the belly, pushing the chest forward, face comes forward. Exhale, we push away from the mat, tucking baby into the spine. And repeat, inhale, dropping baby and belly. Exhale, tucking in and completely relax the head and neck here. And continue that movement on your own. Maybe yours looks a little faster, maybe a little slower. I invite you to find your flow, match your breath to your movement. Okay, and once you've found this neutral tabletop again, we're going to do some open arm kind of twist into a floating thread the needle. So let's take our left hand, and you might want to support it a little closer to the center. And on an inhale, just open the right arm up as far as it goes. Exhale, bending the left elbow, just a floating thread the needle. There you go, right? Inhale, open. Exhale, float. Nice and easy. Inhale, open. Exhale, float, and you might tap your hand down for support. That's fine. So let's do 5 of these. I think that was 3. Exhale through. Inhale, open. Exhale through. And then find your tabletop again and reset. Okay, and let's move to the other side. So right hand might come in the middle a little bit more just to support you. Inhale, left arm open. Exhale, bring it through the right hand, float. And then again, inhale up. Exhale, float. 3 more. Inhale, open. Exhale through. Focusing on stability of the lower half of the body. And then just some spinal movement. Last one, opening up, inhale. Exhale, bring it down, back into your tabletop. Maybe 1 cat-cow to neutralize. And then coming into a calf stretch. So you might need to shift forward slightly, and then the right leg just extends behind you. Try to keep the shoulders square to the front of the mat and your hips square. And then when you find your calf stretch, you can hold here for 5 breaths, or it might feel good to bounce a little. So whichever one feels good to you, find your breath. And then breathe all the way down into the calf muscle. And then after 5 breaths, bringing your knee back, and then just switch sides. So then the left leg comes back. Holding again here, 5 breaths. And then after 5 breaths, that knee comes forward. Wiggle it out a little bit again, and then I always like to do just a little tabletop to balance. And then come back to hero's pose. Take a quick rest. Find your breath again, and then just check in with how you're feeling now. Okay, let's shift back to the right side. This time extending the calf, but then we're gonna cross it over behind our left foot, okay? So just to get a nice hip stretch in on the right side. So cross wherever feels comfortable. And then you might gaze over the left towards your right foot. So that just adds some length in the right side body, and see how that feels. And then don't forget to breathe. Find your breath, hold for 5 breaths. And just be aware of how this feels. Right side body, left glute, a couple of places you might be feeling sensation. Last breath. Let's look forward first. Find your balance, and then use your fingertips here, dig in. And then bring that calf back to where it goes, or back foot, and then go ahead and drop the knee. Wiggle it out if you need to find neutrality, and then moving right to the left side. So left foot comes back, and then crosses behind the right foot, and then your gaze comes behind you, looking at your left foot over the right side. Find your breath, 5 breaths again here. And again, just kind of checking in with how that feels. Notice the lengthening in the side body on the left side now. Maybe still feeling some calf stretch. Maybe some right glute action. One final breath. And then head comes back to center first, then uncross the foot, and then drop the knee back down to neutral. And from here, now we're gonna do a little bit of glute work. So we're just gonna bring the right knee straight out to the side and find some stability first. And then it helps me to kind of gaze out to the right. So just about a foot to the right of the right hand. So on an inhale, that right leg on a 90-degree angle comes straight out. Exhale down. 4 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, squeeze as you do. Exhale down. Again, inhaling up. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale. Exhale. All right, let's do the left side. This one's good if you're feeling any glute pain. So a little bit of relaxation as well as strengthening always helps me when I'm in pain of any kind. Left side, inhale, straight up to the right, to the left. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale back up, squeezing the glute. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale to the mat. Last one, inhale, and exhale, release. And then let's shift again back into our hero's pose. Give our wrists a break. And then just let the hands rest in the lap and take a breath or two here. Okay, let's move into some lunge action. So you can go straight from here or you can go from a tabletop, but we're going to bring our right foot forward, 90 degrees in both knees here, and then come up. And then once you feel stable, we're inhaling the arms up, and then exhale, open. And then we're gonna hold this open twist for 3 breaths. So as you're in this open twist, focus on opening the heart space and keeping the hips towards the front of the mat. 3 breaths. And if this is too hard on your balance, you can remain with your arms up in the air in a straight facing lunge. Okay, after 3 breaths, let's inhale the arms back up. Woo. Little wobbly. And then as you exhale, hands come to the inside of the foot as you heel toe further out to the right, coming into a lizard pose. Now here, you can bring hands to the mat or blocks if you have them and want them. And then we're gonna shift slightly forward on our left knee, getting into the psoas a little bit and relaxing the hips down to the earth. Now here, we do have a hormone relaxin that starts to release tension in our tendons and ligaments, so we don't wanna overstretch. So if you normally can go really deep, maybe just back out 30 to 40%. I promise it's still gonna do some work for you. Hold here for 5 breaths. Final 2 breaths. And then let's slowly shift back. We're gonna keep our back knee in about a 90-degree angle, and then we're going to heel toe our front foot in, back so that it's straight forward. And then adjust your blocks as needed. We're coming into a half split. So I'm just gonna creep my heel forward, keep my knee slightly bent, and this feels good right here. So I'm gonna remain upright. You can also fold a little further into that half split. So feel that sensation, feel that stretch in the back of the right leg. And then pointing the toes towards the face to intensify the stretch. You can also relax the toes for a little bit less intense of a stretch. And again, find your inhale, exhale through the nose. Find 2 more breaths here. Okay, and then let's slowly work our way back into our tabletop to transition to do the other side. So slide your heel in until you can get your foot flat on the ground. Blocks can set to the side or up in front. Hands come to the mat. right leg comes down. Might feel good to wiggle it out a little bit. Take a cat-cow or two. Okay, and then once you're neutralized, let's find the left side. So however you need to get there, left foot comes forward. We've got 90 degrees in the front leg, 90 degrees in the back, coming up into our lunge. Inhale the arms up. And again, if the twist didn't feel so great, you can hang out here. But let's try a twist, keeping the pelvis squared to the front of the mat, heart opening to the side, and hold here for 3 breaths. After your 3rd breath, inhaling the arms back up into the sky. Exhale, they come to the inside of the leg as you heel toe the foot towards the left. And again, grabbing your blocks. If you're using them, shifting forward into your lizard pose. And being really mindful of maybe like how your sensations are different, right? I've got a little tension on my right psoas, so I'm not going to go as deep on this side. 5 breaths here. And be mindful to lift the chest too. We don't want to be sinking our shoulders up into our ears, right? Final breath. And then bending through the back knee into about a 90 degrees. And then lift your block, heel toe that foot in so it's straight out. We're preparing for our half split again. My blocks are going to come back about 6 inches. I'm going to scoot that heel forward, pop the toes up. Keep my knee bent. That's serving me today. And then you can stay again upright, or you can fold into it and play with different levels of your blocks too. You might be on just a half level, or your hands might come to the mat. Three more breaths. Okay, and when that feels good, let's slide that heel back to flat on your foot, and then shifting into our tabletop. Again, that freedom for the cat-cow, which honestly, this tabletop and cat-cow is my favorite right now. It relieves belly pressure off the hips, and I have a feeling I might be laboring in this position a little bit. We'll see. Okay, and then we're gonna shift back into a hero's pose for a quick rest. So booty comes to heels, palms rest on the lap. And then find your breath. Do you remember your intention from the beginning of class? Maybe you're inhaling gratitude, exhaling a hormonal yesterday, who knows? And then we'll have one more posture before we finish in a child's pose. So we're going to do a very easy camel pose just to open up the heart space. So from here, we're going to shift right into coming up to our knees. And this is a super easy camel pose, right? So the hands come to just the upper butt, lower back, palms on the back, fingers facing down, elbows squeeze. And right here, we just lift and gaze up. Heart space comes towards the ceiling, lifting up, not focusing on bending back, but up. Inhale deeply here. Exhale and hold. We're just going to hold here for 5 breaths, focusing on squeezing the elbows together, stretching out the chest, pulling the heart up to the sky. Stability in the legs, building strength. And then gently bringing the head back center first, just in case you get a little bit of the dizzies. And then slowly coming back to a seat. Find your hero's pose. Pause here. And then we'll finish out rounding out the practice in a child's pose the way that we came in. But I invite you to take a seated meditation stance or a side or lying down shavasana if that's still available to you, whatever makes you most comfortable. So when you're ready, coming into that final posture, whichever one you've chosen, I'm going to close back out in child's pose, grabbing my blocks. And then just coming back to your intention that you set in the beginning of class. Were you able to invite in either the gratitude or the joy or whatever it is that you needed to bring into your pregnancy space today? And were you able to release a little bit of whatever you didn't want to take with you? And then I'll leave us in a couple minutes of silence to just contemplate those intentions, and then we'll finish out the practice together. Hi, buddy. And then if you're ready, slowly come up to join me in a seat. Also feel free and welcome to stay in your resting posture for as long as you need to. Let's bring hands to heart center. Thank yourself for showing up for you today, for whatever this practice did for you and whatever made you show up on your mat. Just thank yourself. You know, it can be really hard to show up in pregnancy and do something for yourself. And I hope that you were able to either invite something in or release something that will help you have just a little bit more of a peaceful day. Let's end the practice with an Om together. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be with you and your pregnancy journey. Have a beautiful day. See you next time. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you get notifications for my weekly prenatal yoga classes, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Have a good day.